Okay, confession time. I just got back from a family trip to Knoxville, Tennessee, Pigeon Forge area, which is, yes, Dollywood country. You may have heard of it. And while we had a lot of laughs, a lot of heat, and a lot of bugs, I came home with a deep appreciation for something I hadn't thought about much before. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what that was like and kind of what it made me realize about Seattle. So don't get me wrong, Tennessee was beautiful in its own way, but there were a few very real things that hit me like a sweaty slap in the face. Number one was the heat and humidity. I was basically soup when I was over there. You know, that feeling, I didn't know about it, but you know that feeling when you walk outside and it's like you've stepped into someone else's armpit, basically. Tennessee in August, that was what that was like. As a Pacific Northwesterner, it's like 90 degrees here, which is unseasonably warm, and we're really enjoying it. But at the same time, it's not humid. I'm not very sweaty, like no pit stains here. Tennessee, totally different. I did not have the right clothes for it. I had cotton t-shirts and I was not prepared. So apparently cotton t-shirts like this, like all my wardrobe, hold sweat and they stay wet all day. And there's this whole line of athletic wear. I think it's called athleisure. So as someone who always thought of myself as not a sweating person, I was shocked by how wet I was. And here in Seattle, we may complain about the rain, but at least we're not constantly wet from the inside out, okay? I'll take a little drizzle over the steam room that is the South in summer any day. The next thing that I did not expect in Tennessee was how crowded it would be at the parkways and like the hiking areas that we were trying to get to. We tried to go hiking in the Smoky Mountains and it sounded lovely in the guidebook, but we could not even park our car at the trailhead to get out. It was completely packed. We were on like a one-way road through the parking lot. No parking spots appeared. And then we were winding our way back down the mountain. We could not park anywhere. There was nowhere to circle or hang out to kind of wait for a parking spot to open up. Here in Seattle, yes, the trails can get busy, but I have never had to completely skip a hike that I had planned because I wasn't able to get out of my car. There's so many options here, places to go hiking, even within 45 minutes. You could go to Snoqualmie Falls, Green Lake, Discovery Park. Plus, we have very little dangerous wildlife. When we were in Tennessee, like all the garbage cans were wrapped in bear cages because apparently that's a thing. Here, we do occasionally have mountain lion sightings, but very little mountain lion attacks unless you're like in a known area, and then you probably shouldn't be jogging by yourself. And if you do, you can wear a hat with eyeballs on the back so they know you're watching them. So speaking of nature, if you are thinking about moving to Seattle and you want to live somewhere that's close to trails, mountains, or the water without sacrificing like the urban perks of being close to everything, I've put together a preferred homes list just for you that you can check out in the link in the description, and you'll get instant access to homes that match these kind of outdoorsy lifestyle dreams. So make sure you look for that link and go and see what's available in the areas that I recommend for nice woodland access. The next point I want to make is that pools are great, but we don't have any here in Seattle. So props where props are due. Our Airbnb in Tennessee had gorgeous indoor pools and outdoor pools, and the kids loved it. But here in Seattle, a lot of times a pool is more of a liability than an asset. If you like to swim, there are select outdoor pools available that may or may not be heated if they run year-round in the winter, but overall, it's cold enough and not hot enough to really get a lot of benefit from an outdoor pool. We had tons of flies in Tennessee, around the grill, around the garbage, in the house. My brother-in-law had to go to the store and buy a fly swatter, and then he spent like an hour stalking around the house trying to hunt down flies and smacking them, which like gets fly juice everywhere, which is super gross, but I get it, you know, it's rural Tennessee. But in Seattle, we don't usually have to deal with that type of insect invasion. The other bug that they had in Tennessee, you probably know about, is cicadas. We found a dead one and it was huge and terrifying. I really like how they sound, but I never want to see one. Oh, in Tennessee, I felt like the trees were different. And I know this sounds really weird because this is the Evergreen State here in Washington, but East Tennessee is full of trees and like green mountains, and they line the roads, they block the views, they kind of crowd in on everything. There's not much of a margin or a shoulder. It's just like there are some trees. You kind of feel like you're going through a tunnel of trees and you can't appreciate it. And plus the mountains there's not like snow-capped mountains. It's just sort of rolling hills and slopes, hollers and gullies and things all with trees. And it's like a lot of greenery taking over you. So in Seattle, yes, we have trees, but we also have a lot of hills that really open up into great views of the water, of the mountains. You have much more of a sense of space and scale, and it's very nice in that regard. So when it comes to sort of the tale of two cities between Seattle and Knoxville, in Knoxville we visited Market Square. There were outdoor restaurants, murals, live music, and there were homeless people there too, and it was fun. It was artsy, but once we stepped away from the main blocks, it felt a little tired. The city seemed to be clinging to its former glory with the University of Tennessee bringing in some fresh energy. But overall, I would say it felt small, like it was trying so hard to be more than it was. Seattle, by contrast, is still evolving. There are definitely old and tired parts, dangerous parts, drug parts. But then there's like the whole revitalized South Lake Union area where Amazon and Paul Allen have put so much money in. It's also tough to park in downtown Seattle, so that makes it hard for people to come downtown. So we're still working with issues of our own, but outside of that, and especially on the east side, there are areas that feel more wealthy and more consistent. And you feel like you're part of something, there's some momentum. You feel like, oh, this area was built when the railway was coming through and it hasn't done much since, right? It's sort of frozen in time. And this, I feel like Seattle, there's historical parts, there's new parts, and it's an evolution. It's like a conversation that's still going on. Things I miss are the cool days. I don't miss the bugs. I do miss like that orchestra of cicada and bugs at night, and just sitting outside on a warm summer evening and just feeling like you're surrounded by that nature and that glory here. But night comes so late that I'm already going to bed at like 10 or 10:30. Like that's when it's gotten dark. So putting your kids to sleep at 9 o'clock in Seattle, you're going to be putting them to bed when it's light out in the summer. In the South, you'll have the slower pace of life, but what you'll gain when you come here, you'll get the Cascade, the lake views, the mountain views, and they just take your breath away. You have trails and parks you can actually access, a great selection of those. More of a vibrant, growing city with a strong international flair. Career opportunities in tech and healthcare. We're trying to be an AI hub. There's an amazing food scene that punches way above its weight class. And there's entertainment here, museums, culture, festivals, music. If you want to find your just right place here, there are a lot of options. And that's what I do. I help people relocate to Seattle all the time. Families, professionals, retirees. And I would love to help you too. So before you make the move, check out my ultimate relocation guide to Seattle. And you'll find everything from cost of living comparisons to neighborhood breakdowns and school tips. The link is in the description. Now that you've seen why Seattle might just steal your heart after experiencing even something as cute as small town America in the South, don't pack your bags just yet, because there's one huge thing that people get wrong when they're relocating to Seattle that can cost you thousands of dollars. So make sure you check out my next video on the top mistakes to avoid when moving to Seattle, or you may be learning the hard way. And trust me, you don't want to do that. I'll see you on the next video.